So, today's video is about why I chose the gastric sleeve. At first, there are two things I was considering. The GLP-1, aka Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, all of those sorts of things. And then the other thing I was considering was the bariatric surgery, which I eventually chose. The nice thing about GLP-1s is that you don't need surgery or you don't need to take off of work, and you don't really have to change that much about your lifestyle. And I thought about that, but when I did some research, what I realized is the GLP-1s, they're an ongoing treatment, meaning you have to take them for the rest of your life. I mean, I've heard of some people going off of them, but they tend to have to fight the weight gain really hard. It's like a diet. While you're on the diet, it's great, but when you stop, that's when things get tough. So, that felt like an uphill battle on its own. Plus, with the way the economy's going, we don't know if GLPs will get more expensive or if the compound GLPs will still be a thing. That's up in the air. So I went with bariatric surgery. It seems more pragmatic, like a one and done sort of thing, with a longer result, a longer lasting result. You can do a bariatric surgery procedure and take GLPs at the same time. So it's not like you have to do one or the other. You can do both. And in a perfect world, if we can still get those compound GLP-1s, then go for it. In fact, my surgeon told me that you can get optimum results if you do the bariatric surgery and then do GLP-1s for maintenance, because it will stop the urges to eat when you're not hungry, the compulsive eating issues. So it's possible you can do both. So now let's talk about the gastric sleeve versus the gastric bypass. The gastric bypass is considered the golden standard. You will lose weight faster than with the gastric sleeve. However, when I talked to my surgeon, she told me that there's only a 10-pound difference. So you might lose 10 pounds more if you take if you do the gastric bypass versus the sleeve. And 10 pounds is not a significant difference. You can make up the numbers or the 10 pounds by getting outside and walking, or just watching your calories. So there's not a significant change there. Both options are good. I'm not against bypass. I just want you to know what your options are and the realities of everything. A side note, I don't know if there's any scientific evidence to this or not, but I have heard people say that since you lose weight faster with gastric bypass, you may be at risk of more loose skin. So I don't know. That's just something to think about. When I considered gastric bypass, the first thing my surgeon asked was, how are you with gastric reflux? Do you have any? If you see a doctor about acid reflux, or you were on a daily medication, this is before having surgery, then you may want to consider gastric bypass, because that helps people with bad acid reflux. If you don't have issues, or you seldom have issues with acid reflux, then the gastric sleeve shouldn't be a problem for you. So the gastric sleeve is only going to be a problem for people with acid reflux. I will put the stats, because there is a risk with gastric sleeve that you could develop acid reflux. So I will put the stats somewhere above me. If for whatever reason you end up with acid reflux, then you can have your surgery redone, and they will make it into a gastric bypass. So you do have an option if you don't like the gastric sleeve. Another thing is, if you do the sleeve, you will have more options for weight loss medications that are taken by the mouth. So let's say you get the surgery and 2 years later you've gained some weight. You'll have more options, like I think they have GLP-1s you can take by mouth now, and there might be some other pills that you can take. With gastric bypass, you may be able to take things by mouth. However, you are at risk of not being able to absorb it well. So absorption is going to be an issue for you if you have gastric bypass. But don't worry, if you decide to do gastric bypass, you can do injectable GLP-1s. So it's not like you're all out of options. You would just need to take the needle. So yeah, there's that. And the last thing to consider with the gastric sleeve versus the gastric bypass is, if you do the sleeve like I did and you gain weight years from now and you don't want to take GLP-1s, you can take, or you can change your sleeve into a gastric bypass. So you have a plan A, which is your sleeve. You have a plan B, which is a GLP-1, and you have a plan C, which is to switch your gastric sleeve to a gastric bypass. This gives you a lot of options, so you have a better chance of keeping the weight off permanently. So I hope this all made sense, and I hope this helps you with your decision making on what is the best weight loss plan for you. All right, well, that's it for today, but I will see you later for another weight loss video. Bye.